Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I haven't really had the chance to play with this gorgeous, masterfully made suite collection until now. You'll find it on pages 102 to 103 of the new annual catalogue. The suite comprises of this gorgeously made stamp set and dies. The die doesn't actually cut out these leaves here, they're standalone dies, and this is an open leaf one, and this is more like a fern, and this edge is to make it look like a torn edge, as you do in the papers. These are the papers. And this wiggly line sort of resembles a torn edge of a paper. So if you're a bit nervous about tearing your designer series paper, it's already done for you. And then they took a photograph of it, made it into the pattern paper itself. These come in 12 by 12 inch sheets. They're called Masterfully Made. And that was part of a 12 inch by 12 inch sheet, and I've cut it in half so that the pattern runs this way. These papers are really stunning, aren't they just? They've got so much depth to them. They're actually flowers that have been made from the pretty petals or the paper florist dies. So this is the card we're making today, and in fact I'm using another stamp set called Best Family Ever for the happy birthday greeting. This is such a useful set because it's got love, you're in my thoughts from your grandpa, grandma, whoever. And the great thing about it, it has both the American spelling and the English spelling here as well. So you can either use mum or mom. And there's sort of great grandpa or grandpa, grandma, or in-law, daughter-in-law, brother-in-law. So you can see from the card we're making today, this die will cut out this effect, and it actually leaves a stitched line underneath where the spiral tabs are. So today's card I'm going to be using this die and this one, and it cuts out a label that looks like a torn edge but isn't. And you can die cut new leaves with this die using this patterned paper. So to save time I've already done that, and from a scrap piece of fresh freesia you need to die cut this label. The other item I'm using are the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. I also need some linen thread. The inks I'm using are Berry Burst and Fresh Freesia. So let's run through the cardstock you'll need. The card base is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4. In metric that will be 14.5 by 21 centimeters and folded in half. Then there is a Berry Burst layer, which is 3 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. So that goes on top and glued at an angle. So I'm going to do that first so I don't lose my cardstock. I've taken to using my glue from the bottom end because there's no glue coming up from the top, but plenty coming from the bottom. So I'm going to angle that so that this touches the top, like so. So the corners touch the edges on all four sides. Now this piece is 3 5/8 or 9 centimeters by 5 3/8. So I'm going to have to trim that 13.5 by 9 centimeters. Now I'm worried about trimming too much off. This is 6 inches, so let's do 1/4 on either end. It's better to take a little bit at a time than too much. You can't glue the paper back on. I want it at 5 3/8, so now that's 5 1/2. I'm going to have to cut a 1/16 of an inch at each end. Literally a sliver, so that becomes 5 3/8 inches. Now I'm going to glue that, so watch the top, bottom and sides, and just use an even border all round there, and this is glued straight on, okay? Make sure the writing is the right way up. You've got faint typewritten words there. You want a strip of Berry Burst 2 inches in width. Actually, this is just the other half of this bit, and I just tore it. So die cut that first with this die. Okay, make sure that the spiral bit is at the bottom. Put it on your platform and die cut that. Anchor that so it doesn't move. Do it off camera. Bring in the 3D embossing folder, and you don't want to put the whole thing through, only that bit there, okay? So line up the edge of the 3D embossing folder with the stitched line, and remember to only need platform 1 and the grey plate, platform 4. And for the inside of the card, you need a basic white piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, which is 9.5 by 14 centimeters. I'm going to stamp this sleeve in Fresh Freesia and Happy Birthday in Berry Burst. So I'm going to line that up and stamp. I've applied adhesive to the back. Now glue it to the inside of the card, leaving an even border all round. Now I can start layering. So I want dimensionals on the back here. Put dimensionals on the back and pop that to one side. Put a single stack of dimensionals on this side and a double stack on the end. So a double stack where the birthday is on the Y, and only a single stack on the H, like so. Add the linen thread, tie a bow, pull it tight, and again use a glue dot and secure it on your project. Trim off the excess. Bring on the Tinsel Gems 3-pack and just a single large gem on here. And voila, the card is complete. Really simple and easy to do. Thanks for joining me today. The list of supplies is below this video in the Show More section. If you'd like to read more, hop over to my blog. The link is also below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.